middle, finds Renfro. To get out of there, and the ball comes. They got me down.
I mean, when you look at it, it's just absolutely stacked.
Back up, back up. Waller across.
Take a seat.
And it's intercepted. Picked off by Mullen.
The boy grows up.
Snap good, hold good, and victory in overtime for the Raiders.
Yo. What's good with you, YouTube? What's good with you, Raider Nation, man? How's everybody feeling today, man? Hope all is well. Hope all had a blessed day. It's your boy Dirty, live from the lair, man. We are here tonight to talk about some shit that went down just a couple of hours ago, man. It is official. It is 100% official. USC and UCLA will be leaving the Pac-12. They will. First and foremost, thank you for everybody that's tuning in right now. Greatly appreciate you. Seriously, for real. As I always say, you know what I mean? I could do a show, but what is a show without an audience? It's nothing. You know what I mean? A show without an audience, it's just somebody taking up space and time, man. Being honest, it's just somebody taking up space and time, man. So the fact that y'all tune in, it makes me feel good. The fact that I'm not wasting time, energy, or anything like that, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I got some special guests scheduled to be here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. One of my special guests is already pulled up. In all honesty, ladies and gentlemen, this man doesn't really need an introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, he is representing the Yay area. He is a good friend of mine. He is also a host of the Fathers and Kids Weekend coming up July 15th through the 17th in Bishop, California. He is also the host of Phil Robinson. What's up, Phil?
Said I like that, Dirty. How you managed to get my intro on your shit?
I got my ways of doing things, man. I got my ways of doing things, brother. You know what I mean? I got my ways of doing things, but that's my new thing, man. If you're a content creator, if you got an intro, I'm gonna take your intro from your show. I'm just gonna add it to the clips over here, so when you get introduced, your intro plays for you.
You know who it is, Phil the GOAT. I appreciate that, Seabass.
Yes, sir.
But let's get into it, man. This is some crazy. This is crazy what happened, and it's. I know that it's been in the works and nobody's heard about it, and maybe perhaps I should have dug a little deeper and listened a little harder. But this not only did it just come out of left field, but it got done fast, like real fast.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go into it, and I'm gonna try not to overtake you and let you do your thing, and I'll be quiet and I'll let you lead us through the program, Captain.
I appreciate that, man. You know what I mean? Hey, look, I tell you, everybody will be pregnant by the end of this flight. Yes. Captain Mac, man, we ride spinners. But nah, man, greatly appreciate you being here this evening, brother. I know that you're a busy man. You know what I mean? You have to get up for work in the morning. So I greatly appreciate your time, first and foremost. Reason I'm coming to you guys early tonight is I do have a extremely early tea time tomorrow. So I do have to get my rest. I cannot be here all night like I would like to and usually am, but tonight I have to get into the sleeps mode a little early, man, so I can wake up and tee off, feel bright eyed and bushy tailed. Because last week I pressed the envelope, stayed up till 3, had a 5:30 tee off time, and by
Ooh.
God, if I don't say I had probably one of the worst days I've ever had on the course, bro. I had one of the worst days I ever had on the course. So it made me feel like I hadn't even played this game before, man. That's how exhausted and tired I was. So tonight, man, we are going to talk about dismantling. I'm calling it a demolition of the Pac-12, because I see the top 2 teams, you know what I mean, the top 2 revenue teams in the Pac-12 are jumping ship to the Big Ten. And my question is, can the Pac-12 survive without USC? Is this the end of an era? You know what I mean? Is this the end of a historical conference? I think it is. I think it is. I don't see them being the first 2 teams to leave, man. Honestly, I don't see those. I don't see those 2 teams being the only 2 teams to leave, man. And if that's the case, if Oregon leaves, if Stanford leaves, if Cal leaves, bro, that is the end of the Pac-12 as it stands.
So the way that I see it, I see Oregon's leaving for sure. Utah would be the next most likely to leave, and then it really becomes a collection of what do the other schools want to do. Because without Oregon, without Utah, without SC, those are your 3 main powerhouses of the conference who everybody is paying to watch. Cal, Stanford, Arizona, Washington State, Oregon State, all of those guys aren't producing the same type of numbers and the same type of revenue that SC, Oregon, and Utah are putting up. Without SC, the Pac-12 really has no champion. Yes, Oregon has stepped up and been the best of the bunch, but somebody had to be the best of the bunch, and they weren't ever in any danger of winning the championship. They were just really good. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
And so the only school that was really capable of winning a championship just left. UCLA is right now has got to be the luckiest tagger-ons in the world. They are going to go to the Big 10 whack week after week. They're going to try to take that wide scale shit that Chip Kelly's running, and the defenses in the Big 10 are going to smash them.
Man, I believe that UCLA is getting themselves into a tough predicament as well. You're talking about a program that, you know, basketball wise, hey, look, this is the best move for them. Basketball wise for UCLA, this is the best move for them. This gives them more talented schools to play against. Not to say that the Pac-12 didn't have talent, you know what I mean, when it comes to basketball, but when these guys vote these guys into these brackets, you know what I mean, and when you go into these brackets, you know, if you go in at a high seed, you know what I mean, it actually means something these days. You know what I mean? They can actually go in at higher seeds than they were going in the Pac-12. But USC's basketball, and that's why I say this is just a reversal. You know, this is great for UCLA's basketball, not so hot for their football, but it's vice versa with USC. It's good for their football team. Not so much for their basketball team. Definitely not their baseball team, because they're not even really a thought. You know what I mean? UCLA baseball, okay, cool, but USC, nah. That's why I root for Fullerton when it comes to baseball. But you know, we are in the football realm that is coming around right now. So let's just take a small look at the conference that they're getting ready to head into. So they're heading into this Big Ten conference, and they're going to be matched up with teams like Ohio State, Michigan, Michigan State, Iowa, Illinois, Purdue. What are some of these other schools? Indiana.
Indiana's definitely one. Hold on, I'll pull it up right now.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I got another special guest that was scheduled to be here today. Ladies and gentlemen, he is taking the time out right now of his studies to come through and speak on a subject that is near and dear to his heart. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our young brother, our young up and coming fabulous brother. He normally does morning shows, afternoon shows, evening shows, whenever he has the time to get on. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the screen.
Down for real, PS. You can get it, you can get it, you can get it, you can get it. And I know you what you want. Oh, what it comes to put it in the song. All right.
What's up, SC, man?
I thought I was in my show. What the? I went on my StreamYard real quick. I went on YouTube. I was like, what's going on? I appreciate that intro, man. What's good, Phil? What's good, Dirty, man? Good to be here, man. I appreciate the invite.
Yes, sir. That's my new thing, man. That's my new thing, bro. If you're a YouTube content creator and you got an intro, I went and stole everybody's intro from their show, and that's how everybody will be introduced from now on.
I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah, you know, it gives you people get to see a little bit something about your show. Yeah, I mean, how you doing though, little man? How you doing, little bro? How's everything, man?
I'm good, man. Just like you said, working on them books. Working on these studies. But I think I heard really good news with this whole Pac-12 situation. I think. For one side and back, I kind of heard you say a little bit about basketball, football. I think it's good for football for USD, but the basketball part I'm a little iffy. But I love it, man. I love it. Blessed to be here, blessed to speak on it with you guys, man. So I appreciate it.
Yeah. Now, see, from one standpoint, I can understand the revenue. You know what I mean? I can understand the revenue being generated. I can understand the high profile football games. When you speak of Michigan and Ohio State, I mean those two schools and Penn State as well. Those schools over there, their name holds a lot of weight because they're synonymous with history, right? Penn State being linebacker U, we all know that. You know what I mean? That is linebacker university for sure. Ohio State has always got good kids. You know what I mean? The program has been up and down lately. I'm being honest.
They got speed.
They got speed, but their program has been up and down lately.
Yeah.
Michigan, also another program that's been on the up and down lately. Do good, do bad, do good, do bad. So does this actually, like, with those being really the only three perennial powerhouses over there, to really speak of, does that not hurt SC just a little bit when it comes to rankings?
Well, you're forgetting about Michigan State. Michigan State hasn't been a slouch either. But
no, they haven't. They haven't. But so they're of as recent. They are of as recent. I mean, they took a break for a while. Michigan State had. Now, when it comes to basketball, man, if you tell me Michigan State basketball, bro, man, great, wonderful, fabulous. I feel like their basketball program has always been better than their football program. But that's not to say that their football program are slouch either. I'm not saying that. I just if I had to choose what was a better program in Michigan State, I would probably say basketball.
No,
Personally,
absolutely.
you know. So
That goes without saying.
yeah,
I was just gonna say, but you're selling the conference short because you're forgetting about Wisconsin. You're forgetting about Indiana. Both teams were ranked. Minnesota. All of those teams are in the Big Ten. Now we can sit here and we can talk about the financial benefits and the TV audience and how that is particularly beneficial to SC. But I can tell you right now that they made a grave mistake when it comes to the football side of things. They are not prepared for that style of football. They're not prepared for that weather, and more importantly, they just gave away almost a guaranteed conference berth every year for the right to play Ohio State, Michigan, and all those other teams every year and lose multiple games, tough games every year.
yeah. I just, man, I'm such a big fan of the Pac-12. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm really slightly upset. You know what I mean? I'm slightly upset because the Big Ten. I mean, the closest team to us is fucking Iowa Hawkeyes.
No. Closest team should be, I think, Northwestern.
But ain't that in Illinois?
Yeah, that's right. You're right. It would be Iowa.
It would be Iowa the Hawkeyes, right?
Yeah.
Bro, you know how fucking far that is away?
Actually, technically, be Nebraska.
Nebraska. Okay. Still, you know how far that is away?
Yeah.
Bro, we got to what? 6 states? 6, 7 states before we. That's a lot of traveling, man. Look, I can understand the revenue, but all that traveling, that can eat up your revenue. You got some big boys to feed. You got some big boys to feed, man. Some hungry cats.
And lots of them.
Lots of them. Right? So you got to put them up in hotels. You got to feed them. You got to fly them out. Look, before you could take a bus up to UCLA, right? You could take a bus out to Arizona. You could take a small short flight to AZ. You know what I mean? No problem. But now these states that you flying in, that you got to go play, some of these states get snow. So now you got to fly in a couple of days early to avoid the storm. How's that going to fit into the budget? See, like, I understand that the revenue that's coming in, but man, I also see a lot of revenue going out for having to travel back towards the Midwest East a lot more.
Here's the thing with it, right? I would have preferred them going to the Big 12 because those are closer schools, and with Texas and I forgot what other school are leaving to the SEC in 2025, that kind of opens up 2 openings for 2 teams, which would have been most likely USC and UCLA, and it would have been better for both teams as far as mileage wise, because it's a bunch of, way closer than the East Coast, right? So I would have preferred them going there. I think as far as competition wise, I think if Lincoln Riley could pull his cards right, he did play against high level competition, with the Big 12, of course, in Oklahoma, playing against teams like Baylor, which are no slouches either. But, you're going into powerhouses like Ohio and Michigan. I feel like the reason why they did it at 2024 is because it gives them a 2-year slot in making something happen with this football team, making them prepared. And I think that's what they've been doing. If you really look at who they're gaining, I mean, our receiver is from Pitt, Jordan Addison there. They're bringing a lot of guys from the other side of United States. They're starting to build something. They brought in a coach that played in there. They brought in a coach that played in the Big 12. They're bringing these guys that were in high-end competitions, bringing 5-star recruits, and I think they've been preparing. I think they knew this was going to happen, and I think they could do it. I just feel like, are they going to execute it? Only time will tell. So in the basketball, I'm more scared about basketball. I'm not gonna lie to you, but that's just my my little take right there.
I mean, it's a solid take, and it's really all kind of just up in the air and up in arms. I'm just, but strictly from a football standpoint, I really don't like this. This was a bad move for SC. It was, and you really want to stop and think about this. They joined the Big Ten. The LA media market is the number 2 media market in the country. There's no major college football team in New York, which would be the number 1 market. So basically, you're the big dog in the top market in the country, going someplace else looking for a TV deal. That's it. That doesn't sit well with me.
Yeah.
There's a problem there. And when I see what was going on with the Pac-12, the problem with the Pac-12 is that most of these schools are just happy to be there. They're just happy to have a seat at the table, and they're not really doing what it is that they need to do to be championship level or to generate the level of interest aside from the casual fan or the committed student. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, that's a question that I was gonna really ask, because I feel like it's being hinted on. Does this affect the Pac-12 in scouting with SC and UCLA leaving? Does that now affect the rest of the schools in their scouting and being able to pull in big name players?
No, it's not going to impact it any more than it already has, because regardless of what conference they play in, they're still rooted in SC in California. You know what I'm saying? So everything that's local, every local scout, everything that's going on in their backyard is going to be that much more solid, because now it's going to be like, look, at first we was just the big dogs of the Pac-12. You know what it was. This is our conference. We run this. Now we're going over here. We finna do this on a national stage every week. Every week it's going to be like the SEC. You're looking at no worse than a top 15 team coming through.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't referring to SC. I was referring to the rest of the teams left in the Pac-12.
But they're not generating no interest, no buzz. Now, if you were talking basketball, now that's a different story.
Okay.
Basketball is a different story. Baseball is a different story. Women's basketball and softball, also different stories. That's where really the Pac-12 is more of a heavy hitter at, is those type of activities.
Yeah.
And of course they had the great football. They got the great football program or tradition, but then all of the members of the Pac-12, or at least the ones that used to be good, start putting out education requirements that athletes don't have to meet in other places. And it's cost them premium athletes, and more importantly, it's cost them competition.
Most definitely. Raider Ruckus, what's up with you, brother? Yeah, I saw your call, man. I will call you tomorrow, man. I was a little bit busy today, and I'm not ignoring you, brother. I will call you tomorrow, man. Definitely.
Ooh, how much you let him go for, Jason?
Oh, damn.
Baby Pitts coming within 2 weeks. I mean, I would love I'd take rescues. I know you probably looking to get those off for the low.
Man, you can't buy him from him anyway.
I wouldn't buy him, period. But like I said, I'd take rescues.
He in Maine. You couldn't get that dog. He in Maine.
Oh wow. Well, never mind then. Keep the ball and have a pit bull.
If you anywhere in the New England area, holler at our boy Jason. If you on the West Coast, do not call him, man. I am not a fan, bro. I have had people. I was selling my pits, bro. I've had people call me from Florida, New York, Connecticut to buy my dogs, talking about put them on a plane. Fuck you. You want the dog? You come get it.
Wait, what? Put the dog on a plane?
Put the dog on a plane.
Damn.
Wow.
No, you come get the dog.
Like, know what? Just fuck you, period.
Facts.
Yeah, oh no, it was a straight fuck you, but it was like,
Yeah.
bro, you want the dog? You come get the dog.
Yep.
Put it on a plane. Are you serious?
So that a stranger could come pick him up. You must be out your goddamn mind.
And a puppy.
And a puppy at that.
We talking about a puppy.
Puppy gonna be shell shocked for the rest of his life.
Yep.
Yeah, man, you must be crazy, bro. A puppy ain't gonna survive that flight. He ain't even gonna survive that flight.
It's a dirty game. It's a dirty game.
Yeah, nah, man.
I read the
that's
record
my
said,
thing.
put him on a Greyhound. You stupid.
In order for me to sell you a dog, I gotta meet you in person anyway. I gotta see what type of person you are. I gotta see how you treat the dog. I gotta see how the dog treats you, if they like you or not. Yeah. Other than that, man, no, don't call me for that shit. But let's get back to this. The demolition of the Pac-12.
Yes, please lead us in battle.
Because with this move that was made at 6:00 this afternoon, if people didn't know, it was voted on, it was approved. So it is official that USC and UCLA will be their last season. This will be their last season in the Pac-12. They will officially be playing in the Big Ten. They will officially be playing in the Big Ten in 2023 for the 2024 season. So
2024, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's next year because this is technically the 2023 season in NCAA. Right? Usually they call it the season of whenever the championship game is played. The championship game is played in 2023.
Let me see.
So let's talk about these brackets, man. Since they're officially moving, let's talk about what these brackets are going to look like. Are they going to do a east-west? Are they going to do a north-south? Are they going to do a north-south, east-west? I mean, you got 16 teams. That means 4 teams to a bracket. You got 4 in the north, 4 in the south, 4 in the east, 4 in the west. 16 teams, right? So the west bracket should probably look something like USC, UCLA, Nebraska, Iowa, right? So what do the rest of the brackets look like? What does the north look like? Was that Ohio, Michigan State?
Michigan State.
Because you can't put Ohio and Michigan in the same bracket. You can't do that.
Got to.
I know you got to, but I don't think you can. I think you would have to move. Ohio to the east.
So okay, so you would call SC, and then do like a Southwest division. Then you do a Northwest division, which would be like Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Michigan State. Then you do like a Northeast with Ohio, Indiana, Purdue, Ohio, Indiana, Purdue. Then do like a Southeast with Penn State, Maryland, Rutgers, or I think Rutgers might go Northeast, and then whoever else would be the last other couple teams would be in the north and the Southeast.
Yeah.
Now the question is, how do you break that down? Now you could go side by side, and so ultimately you'd have the West versus the East would how it broke down, and it would just match through your conference opponents and section opponents real quick, and then face off at the end. That'd probably be the easiest way to do it, because that'd run you 7 opponents in the half, and then maybe a couple non-conference opponents to get you to 10. Then you take a couple guys from the East.
Because they play 10 games, right?
Usually it's about 13. It's up to 12 to 13 now.
12 to 13 games, right? So you're one of 16 teams. Do you really play any outside teams of that conference? And if you do, how many?
Well, you have to. You can't just play. You just can't play pure in conference games.
That's what I'm saying. So, when you build these types of things, right? There's gotta be a rivalry. Like, we already got the rivalry with UCLA. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. That's dated back, right? Now, do we create a new rivalry? Do USC at Ohio State, USC in Michigan, USC in Nebraska? Like, I can see you playing SEC teams now. I can see you playing Big 12 teams now. You know what I mean? But do you go back and play anybody in the Pac-12? Being that you are on the West Coast?
Why? Well, there'd be no point.
Yeah.
The only team that'd be worth it, once they leave the conference, the only team that would be worth it there'd be 2, maybe 3, would be Oregon, Stanford, and Utah. Now, it's not for sure that Oregon and Utah aren't going to follow them out, which they very well could.
Yeah.
It's also stands to reason that Notre Dame finally wises up and joins the Big 12 as well. That would be huge for the conference. That would be huge. And that would make them every bit as good, if not better, than the SEC.
Would that'd probably be 20 teams at that point?
Something like that. But I mean, the SEC really only comes down. All of these teams can join the SEC, but it really comes down to 4 there. So you can have all these people convolute that because they want to get in on the money deal. But unless it's Bama, Georgia, who else is in the SEC right now?
Bama, Georgia,
really,
Miami,
Kentucky, Tennessee.
Miami.
Is Miami?
in the ACC.
ACC.
Mississippi, Arkansas.
Miami needs to be in the SEC too.
Florida needs to be in the SEC.
I think Florida's in the SEC, isn't it?
Yeah, they still are.
I was gonna say they're in the SEC, right?
Yeah,
Florida State,
Texas A&M, Auburn, LSU. Those
Florida State is ACC, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Then
LSU,
Texas and Oklahoma, and Oklahoma hadn't won the Big 12 in a while. I don't know why either one of them wanted to go to the SEC. That was just dumb. They ain't never gonna win. They ain't never gonna win that conference ever.
no. Shit. Where is LSU? SEC?
Yep.
SEC.
Yeah.
But see, for me, it wouldn't really make no sense to jump across all the way to the SEC. You know what I mean, from the West Coast. That just don't make no sense.
They don't have to. And here's the other thing is that what they got to realize is the style of play changes. See, the way that USC was currently constructed was to dominate the Pac-12.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to be able to play this style of football the way that they played against the Big Ten, the best of the Big Ten teams. Their offensive line and defensive line is not good, and to look at them going up against Penn State, like they could have all of the skill position players in the world, it's not going to matter.
Board expects the management committee to continue its discussion of a new format that would go into effect 2026-2027, a four-person subgroup. Well, see, my thing is, man, I hate this 4-team format shit, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I do too.
I hate this. If they're gonna do a playoff bracket, man, it needs to be something like what the NFL does.
Yep.
It needs to be something like what the NFL does, man.
Conference winners. It should be a tournament of champions.
Yep.
But
Do what
now,
you-
here's where they fucked it all up is that they brought everybody into these two conferences. So now you got to select what 6 teams out of 2 conferences, and then try to fill 2, maybe 3 more spots with everybody else from around the country.
Give 64 teams an opportunity. So 64 teams play this week. 32 teams play the following week. 16 teams play the following week. Right? And then 8 teams play the following week. And then you got your final 4. Do it like that. Do it like you do basketball. It don't have to, you know what I mean? You can do it by weeks. It'll take a month and a half. It take a month and a half to determine, you know what I mean, who plays in the championship game.
So kind of like a March Madness type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? I'm on board with that.
I mean, it's no different than the playoffs really are. It's just a change of seeding, and that's how it breaks down. I mean, that's really no different. But I get what you're saying and how it sounds cool and all, but that's how the playoffs go now.
Yeah, but if we did that, like if we actually knew, like it was a bracket, you know what I mean? Like if it was an actual for real bracket, Winter Madness, call it Winter Madness, man. You know what I mean? It starts in December. It ends in January, like always. You know, but it's an actual setup bracket of okay, season is ended. This is the playoffs right here. This is where you rank. This is how you will play. I think that gives it a fighting chance.
It would be interesting because even in football, just like basketball, there's a lot of upsets. There could be easy upsets throughout the thing. And that's what I'm really looking at when you talk about those 64 teams. I see there is some teams that could beat those top dogs some way, somehow on any given week. That one's an interesting one. I'm listening to that one. That one's
I think that's interesting, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I would definitely like to take the time to write that out and see how that would actually go. At this point I'm willing to try anything. Because the thing is that these super conferences are going to dominate your TV, and it's going to go back to like it was in the old days where you don't see anybody else because you only want to watch these guys because this is the power conference, and all these other teams aren't going to beat these teams from this conference. So there's no point in watching them.
Imagine a Tulane football team going up against let's say Alabama, right? And Tulane just has a fire day that day. They're just on fire. Can you imagine Alabama going down to a Tulane? Bro, that would break the television.
I hope
they Alabama have a fire day and still lose by 70. It doesn't fucking matter.
Huh?
I said Tulane could have a fire day and still lose by 70 to Alabama.
I'm just saying, you know, let's just say we
keep it 100.
I'm just saying, what if something like that took place? A school like a Tulane went up against Alabama and won, right? That would break the fucking television, bro.
Like when Boise State beat Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they move on to the next round. Look, my whole thing is I'm tired of seeing the same fucking teams playing for the national championship all the time because it's 5 people voting on it. Fuck that, man. Let these motherfuckers play. Since you're paying them now, you might as well play them now.
Yep.
Now that's a real statement right there, and that's something that they really have to stop and take a look at because coaches are complaining about the NIL deals, about who's paying players and who's not, but the reality is they're pissed off because they're no longer getting the cream of the crop recruits because other teams are willing to pay. Then you got all of these moving pieces. But since you're paying these guys now, they should be available to play when it's however long you need them to play in order to make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the rub about that is that just because you're on the team doesn't mean you're getting paid. There's certain players who are, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now, that raises a question: should everybody on the team be making a little something?
In order for that to be the case, now you're no longer talking about college sports, and you're talking about amateur football.
Mm-hmm.
And in all actuality, it looks like those teams that we mentioned may split off and start something called amateur football, so that they can regulate the money that comes through. Because at this point, that's going to be the only thing that keeps shit fair through that for them. Because then it becomes like baseball, and it's who can spend the most money. Well, none of them are going to compete with SC when it comes to spending money, except for maybe Miami.
Miami's got money, but SC's got a shitload of money, man.
Miami's got Miami, bro.
Huh?
Miami's got Miami, and if you tell me that I can be rich at SC or I could be rich in Miami, I'll be in Miami.
I understand. I understand. But SC got a shitload of money, man.
I'm well aware of that, bro.
There are a lot more famous people from USC than there is Miami, because SC's got. Well, I don't know what Miami's fully got, but I know for a fact SC's got senators, former presidents. You know what I mean? Big name actors inside of Hollywood. You know, Lawrence Fishburne, Will Ferrell. They were left a lot of money by Ronald Reagan. Left a lot of money to USC. John Wayne left a whole lot of money to USC. Dr. Dre is a big contributor to USC. DL Hughley is a contributor to USC. You know, like and that's just to name a few. That ain't even to name everybody. You know what I mean? But there's so many. Yeah, USC. You know, Snoop Dogg contributes to USC. Like, you know, when you go on a tour for SC, they roll out the carpet, man.
Yeah, mm-hmm. They do.
Mm-hmm. They roll out the carpet. And now you telling me there's no limit on what it is I can technically do. Like I said, man, on my last show, man, you know, you got these scouts going into the living rooms now talking about, so what can I get you? Normally, you know, they sit down and the parents be like, hey man, can I get you a soda or something? Now scouts is walking in, hey, what can we get you? We don't need anything but your son to come to the school, but you need a new house, you need a new car. What you need, huh? You behind on payments on something? Can we pay something off for you?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, man, they can come in literally throwing money now. It's just crazy.
USC is not afraid to use it either. They just proved they were getting that one receiver from Pitt, Jordan Addison.
Bro,
the best receiver.
They can't get no DBs and they can't get nobody on the goddamn line. It's you know, we can sit here and talk about the wide receivers and it looks great, but that offensive line was shaky at best, and their defensive line was trash.
Yeah, that defensive line.
Thule is legit. I like Thule, but the rest of that defensive line was trash.
So that's the question that I asked earlier. So with them moving into the Big Ten, with some of them big boys that play in the Midwest, does this now make SC a little bit more appealing to these kids that are in the Midwest? You know what I mean? Who parents can't really travel out to West Coast to see these kids play, but now that SC is traveling back into the Midwest, more opportunities for your parents to see you actually play. Is it a little bit more enticing for these bigger players that we're losing out on because they don't really want to leave that far because their parents can't get to support them like they want to. Does this help SC a little bit more now?
It could. I don't see how it wouldn't, especially whenever you get more exposure in a certain area. I would think that it doesn't necessarily do wonders for what they're doing back home. Back home, they'll still be the top dog because everybody will get to watch them because of the East Coast. Or actually, we don't even know if it will be televised in the West Coast markets anymore. It will be in LA, but I don't know about up here. But they'll be national, so of course it will be. Yeah, everybody cut out.
I'm here. I'm listening.
Yeah, so but they'll be on national TV with every game because it'll be in that media market. So I guess it all balances out. But I mean, it is what it is. SC's big name college football. They're doing their thing. They're
Whose
on
phone is that? That's
that's
USC?
That is not mine.
That you feel?
Yeah, it's my computer. I gotta figure out how to turn this shit off because this shit is going
Notifications.
crazy. Yeah. Good old family chat right in the middle of the show, right? Gotta love it.
Well, this is definitely interesting news.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's a lot.
It's a lot, and I don't see the Pac-12 being around in 6 years. I think 6 years from now there will not be a Pac-12 conference. But is there now? Can the Pac-12 save itself as well? Is another question. Can they now add teams like Fresno or UNLV or BYU or someone like that? So let's just say Illinois has to leave. You know, where do they go? You know, do they go to the WAC? You know, like there's going to be some teams on the move. The Pac-12's got to do something to make it interesting.
Yeah.
So they got to add something. What do they add? What can they add?
They'd have to bring in the best of the WAC or the Mountain West. They'd have to bring in your Boise States, your BYUs, Fresno State, and can they be good? I just don't. They're not going to replace. They're not going to replace. They're not going to replace SC. It's just not going to happen. Doesn't matter who you bring in at this point, and we're assuming that Oregon is still going to be there because without SC and Oregon, you're looking at a more prominent WAC. That's all it really is. Jesus.
So this, because we were talking earlier. So does Cal stay in the Pac-12 or does Cal go to the WAC?
Cal will be lucky to stay in the Pac-12, but that'll be as long as there is one because they're not there. They're just and the educational admission standard is just going to keep them from being there. You got to be smart to go to. Yeah, you got to be smart to go to Cal.
Yeah, gotta have them grades to go to Cal. And they've been losing out to players at UC Davis.
Same thing with Stanford, and yeah, you're right. They've been because I was looking at Davis, and at first I was like, I can't believe Cal is over here losing to Davis.
Mm-hmm.
But then I go back and I look, and I was like, comparatively speaking, they got some talent over there. It's not just that they got beat by Davis, but Davis really has some talent. A little bit. Yeah, I'm not gonna call them world beaters, but they more than I gave them credit for.
Yeah, they definitely have some talent over there. Kid our coach, he plays for Davis. OG Chuck Wadobe. He played for Davis, but Davis has definitely poached some talent from Cal because of Cal's standards of education. And it's crazy because everybody can't be a 4.0 student athlete, man.
Nope.
You know, I mean, you're gonna have to bend the rules for some of these student athletes, bro. You're gonna have to accept the 3.2. You're just gonna have to accept the 3.2, man. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
They can do that. They can do that with the transfers, but when you get in the transfers, now you got to start looking where they're at when it comes time to transfer. Premium athletes who are transferring ain't going to Cal; they're going to the big dogs.
Yeah, of course.
So they were already. So they were already on tier 2 when it came to recruiting in their own backyard.
And then Berkeley's. If you take the tour of Berkeley, man, okay, it's a cool campus, but not for an athlete. Maybe liberal science, you know what I mean? Like it's the perfect place for liberal science.
I don't think you really took the tour of them players. You might have taken the tour of the campus, but not off campus.
I've been to Berkeley twice. I've only been to Berkeley twice.
Okay.
So,
now you ain't gonna start talking bad about Berkeley, son.
I'm just saying,
right,
man.
Now look, I don't come down there and start shitting on your hood.
Hey, you can't come down here and shit on SC, bro.
Listen,
You can't. There's no possible way. You know what we offering.
I am from the Bay. You understand me?
Hey,
I'm from the Bay.
I'm born in Oakland, brother. I'm born in Oakland.
I'm still here.
That's okay. Okay. You can be there. I'm here. I'm here. You know what I mean? But it's for me, you know what I mean? If I take the tour of Berkeley and I take the tour of SC, bro, I'm choosing SC.
Yeah.
All day long.
Till you take that first step from that first block away from campus, and you right there in the heart of South Central.
Oh shit!
Hey, that's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah.
That's the beautiful thing about it.
Get
man.
on the swivel, chief. It look sharp.
Hey, that's one of the most beautiful things about it, bro. I'm telling you, man. Hey, right across the street, you got the world famous Felix Chevrolet dealership.
Oh,
They build all the Lolos that flow through these magazines, man. You know what I mean? To get your car built at Felix Chevrolet, to get your Lolo built at Felix Chevrolet, you're doing big things right across the street from USC. Right across the street from USC. You know what I mean? You got the world famous Coliseum. You know what I mean? The world famous Coliseum.
Yeah, I bet their auto mechanics program was a hit. I never thought about that.
What?
Their auto mechanics program.
Mm-hmm. They got an engineering program there that's off the chain. They got probably one of the best. I mean, probably top 3, top 4 film schools.
Oh yeah.
You know, they right up there with NYU Film School. You know,
right.
You know, they have a phenomenal film department. They have a phenomenal music department. Science.
They got a good communications.
Yeah, communications. Look, you got the Museum of Natural Science right across the street, and it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You got this lovely, beautiful botanical garden with very rare flowers that you can go and study. Like, yeah, SC might be surrounded by the hood, but it's probably one of the most beautiful campuses that you will ever visit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Every desert has an oasis, right?
Hey, and they keep growing. They keep buying up land around themselves, and they have a phenomenal medical department, bro.
Oh yeah, that's
phenomenal medical department, man. My wife works for Keck Medical, which is the medical program for the students at USC. when they do their residency, they go over to Keck to do their residency, and yeah, they got a great medical program as well. So, now their law is kind of them and Marshall. You know what I mean? So it's a blend between the two. But Marshall was a phenomenal law program here in LA too. So, but I'm just saying, you're taking all of that to the Big Ten now. You know what I mean? You're taking all of that. I know you're not moving campuses because that would just be stupid. But you're taking all of that the Pac-12 had to offer to another, and I don't even understand it. The history, the amount of years that you've been in the Pac-12. Can't you just vote? Can't you just vote in a new chairman of the Pac-12 to get things turned around, to get the revenue turned around the right direction?
I said, how does this happen?
I didn't see this coming, bro. I was ready for the season. I was like, we're making moves. We're about to own this Pac-12. We're gonna put Pac-12 back on the map. I kept saying that, and then boom, this news breaks out. I'm like,
yeah, we making a hell of a move, man. We moving so far. We U-Haul to a new division.
I mean, I was with you, Eric. I was like, yeah, they're set up. They're gonna crush this division. They're moving. They're doing what? Oh, there's no. It's already done. Like
so quick too. In the morning, it was
where?
The morning was rumors.
You took a California football team to the Midwest.
Chuck, what it do, bro?
Bro, you gonna have these California kids playing a much bigger Michigan team in the big house in the snow? Bro, these fools is gonna get mollywopped. You gonna take them to Ohio State, have them play in the horseshoe in the snow? And let's be real, the Coliseum hasn't seen a horseshoe type crowd in a while. I'm talking about the 100, the 120, the 102,000 strong, all going nuts.
Now, let me ask this, because I know Big Ten teams usually pack their stadiums, but that's because most of those teams are extremely close to each other.
Yeah,
and their fans can get there, right? You really think them fans is flying all the way out here?
Yes.
With our ticket prices? And the price of living in California?
Do you see Raider fans flying all over the place to get to follow the Raiders?
But we fly in the cheap places. We flying in the cheap places, bro. we flying in the cities that, man, it don't cost nothing to live there.
Nobody want to go here. I'm going home to where everybody's flying.
Man, who the fuck is flying into Cleveland? Nigga, nobody. Nobody, bro. We are in and out. It is cheap.
Listen, this is a transfer point. I am not booking no flight to Cleveland.
Hey, I think when Docs went to the draft in Cleveland, bro, his whole trip was like $250, man. Like, that was the flight, that was the hotel room. You know what I mean? That was the flight and the hotel room for 4 days, man. That round trip, man, it was all for $250. Like, there ain't nobody flying into these cities, man. Like, that's why we'll go to these other places, but we won't go into our own stadium because we can't afford it. Right? It's cheaper to go catch our team somewhere else than it is to catch it in your own.
Definitely.
Stadium. So I could fly. I could pay $700, and that would be my flight round trip, my ticket to the game, and my hotel room in another stadium. Right? But it's $700 just to get into my stadium.
for some okay tickets, not even good tickets, for some okay tickets.
That ain't for me.
Hey, Chuck, I get that. I get that, but it's not going to be enough to fill the Coliseum. We're talking about the Coliseum. There's going to be some teams that they travel, but it's not people like they just don't come here like that. They sell out a small portion. Like I've seen teams from the East come play us here at the Coliseum. It's not a lot of them. It's just not. We've played teams like Notre Dame. Notre Dame travels well, but when they come to LA, LA is expensive. They may do it for like a year. They may do it maybe a year, maybe two. But after that, they gonna stop because they're like, man, fuck that. Every time we go, it just get more expensive and more expensive.
Dumping mortgage payments into this trip.
But hotels have gone up, bro. You used to be able to get a Motel 6, you know what I mean, for a night for about $56, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You know a Motel 6 will cost you $114 now?
You can't get a
Christ.
gas for $56. Fuck the shit.
Hey, don't even get me started on those gas
You
prices.
said 50. You could get a hotel for $56 a night. I'm like, shit. I can't get a tank of gas for $56.
I got so mad at the gas pump the other day, bro. I just stopped it.
This motherfucker said, I refuse, goddammit. No,
Look,
no
man,
more.
so
I'm
look,
drawing the line
I'ma
right,
tell you.
I'd rather
motherfucker.
walk my car. I'd rather push
Yeah.
my car.
I'm going to get my damn bike. Fuck this shit.
I was on E, bro. I was on E, right? I put the card in the machine. I put the pump in the tank, and I pulled the trigger, and I walked away. Nigga, I came back. It said $173 and somebody sitting there, and it wasn't even full. I said, no, nigga. Nigga, I'm done. I'm done. No, I will not go past this. No.
I refuse. No,
I
fuck that.
refuse.
I'll stop driving. I don't give a fuck. I'm not paying no more. I'm not paying $200 at the goddamn gas pump. I refuse.
I said $173. Nah, I said no, man. It wasn't even full. It wasn't even full. I still had another 5-6 gallons to put in it to make it full. No. I'm not doing it.
That's funny.
I stopped that shit at 28 gallons, bro.
Bro, I feel it. I mean, I would have never waited that long, but I know I've gone to the damn gas pump and looked at them prices. I was like, listen, I was gonna try to get just a couple dollars worth, but fuck that. I'm getting a gallon and a half, and I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm not paying this shit. This is crazy.
Nigga, I said 170. I said no, nigga. No, we gonna stop right here. This is it.
That's enough.
This is it. I'm done.
Said this shit is still going. What the fuck? Have you think somebody done pulled that shit out your car while you left and walked inside?
Hey Chuck, I would tell you stay your ass on the East Coast, run that East Coast route. You know what I mean? Go from Florida to New York, stay on that route, Atlanta, whatever. Stay in that area. Do not come to the West Coast, bro.
Don't.
Not in your rig, man. Not in your rig, bro. My homeboy just filled up his rig. He just filled his rig up yesterday. This nigga spent $2,000.
Jesus Christ, bro.
$2,000 to fill up his rig, bro.
I was sick just hearing you say that, Dirty. That shit, I was sick just hearing you. And I knew it was gonna be bad because I was looking at him saying he paid $900 in Florida, and I was like, God, he put $900 at the pump, golly. You
$2
said
grand
2
at the
grand,
pump,
I
bro.
would have fainted.
$2 grand, bro.
Yeah, I would have fainted. Drop
Hey,
2 grand in
California
the
is
gas pump.
tripping, bro. California is just too much.
And California is crazy. We have a special diesel. You know what I mean, that you can drive in California. You cannot bring red diesel into California anymore.
Mhm.
You cannot bring red diesel into California anymore. It has to be blue.
Mhm.
So that's even worse.
And people wonder why people are leaving California. This is why.
Well, man, it's crazy, man. But
Yeah.
shit, I guess that's why SC is going to the Big Ten.
Oh, getting taxed too hard by the state.
I think it was just a bad move on the chairman of the Pac-12 to do the things that he's done.
Paying the consequences certainly is.
You have your own network. Why isn't it thriving? Why aren't you showing more? You don't even. I can't even catch the SC game on the Pac-12. You're showing me Washington State and Oregon State. You showing me the Cats and the motherfucking Beavers, nigga. When USC and UCLA are playing, you should be capitalizing on that. It's it's yours. But you're not showing that. Instead you'll show me the replay after everything, and
I
you'll
want
chop
to
it
say
up.
that SC had a deal with ABC because if you notice, almost every SC game is on ABC,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that might be why they weren't on Pac-12 network where everybody else was. At least not like that.
And see, and that's the problem. You should have been paying ABC money for your number one revenue generator. You should have been given. That's who the money should be going to. Your superstar. Your superstar is USC.
Yep.
So I gotta think. So it seems like that would be to us, and that's a no-brainer. That clearly seems like that would be the no-brainer. That's what you would do. You pay the money up. But there are a bunch of people who are smarter than us, supposedly, with way more established, who seem to think that letting them go was the better option. I don't see how that it is, but they arrived at that conclusion that letting them make this move was the better option. So maybe sports isn't quite driving revenue the way that it used to, or the fact that these teams are now sucking up all the revenue to where they're making crazy demands of the cities that they're in, and then profiting off of it for everything.
Now, let me ask this question, because you know what I mean, some people will bring up the conspiracy theory. You know what I mean? So let me be the first, since I am the first one to technically touch on this. You know what I mean? Could this be USC giving the Pac-12 a big fuck you for the penalization of what they had to go through for so many years? Could this be a big fuck you? We're out.
Possibility.
It could be, but I think that it's just been at a point now with the commissioner where they just had enough. And I believe that Mike Bone was just named the athletic director of the year.
And that's what I'm saying.
Or he got an award from something. And now they've dipped out and they're in the Big Ten network, or in the Big Ten conference, fucking with the Big Ten network. It's the writing's on the wall. And I can't believe that. I still can't believe that they let it almost left the entire West Coast market for just so that they can get national attention playing in the Big Ten. That with the second largest media market in the country, they had to go someplace else. We couldn't bring the talent to us. Like you said, we got our own network, and they're over here bullshit.
Hey, Pablo Vista, I believe he did. I believe he did, because the way that this is moving, this had to be a topic of conversation when he was interviewing for the job.
Absolutely.
And you know what? That this may be the reason that he got the job, being that he
100%.
has experience of being over there. You know what I mean?
He would be more Big 12 than Big 10.
Yeah, I mean, I know he'd be Big 12, but it'd be outside the Pac-12.
Right.
And he's faced some of these teams a little bit more often than the Pac-12 have. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? Being in the same region. Some of these out of conference, what they call preseason exposition games or whatever.
Right.
You know, the first couple of games, you know, some of these teams he may have faced. You know, he's a hell of a recruiter.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think this was a topic of conversation.
It would have to be. You couldn't spring this on the guy, especially. And this clearly wasn't the type of thing that you could just throw together at on a whim. They just managed to keep it hush hush, real nice and tidy. But I was just gonna say that would make sense. A new TV deal, especially once they get over there. So yeah, that would make sense, because it would have to be a new TV deal, because their media market wouldn't cover that, and this money's got to be sorted out. They all got to get theirs.
Hey, look, if they're expected to generate over $1 billion right now, right, without USC, UCLA, and let's just say when they get over there that it now goes to $1.5 billion. Let's say they put another $500 million up. You know what I mean? Should SC and UCLA split that $500 million? It's technically because they're bringing it.
Yeah. Well, that's supposed to be the good faith money. You can't show up to a new party with an empty hand looking for.
So do we split that $500 million? Do we both get the $250 million to spend on our program?
Got to spread the conference love, brother.
I'm just saying. It's $1 billion, right? You got to split that amongst the 14 teams you got right now. Right. But when I come over, I'm bringing $500 million with just the 2 teams I'm coming with. You only getting the bill. You only getting the bill for the 14 you got.
Right.
I'm bringing $500 million with technically by myself, but the addition of UCLA to close the LA market, you know what I mean, is a little bit more enticing. Right. So UCLA got to get something, Pablo. They got to get something because they're closing the LA market.
Have to.
I'll tell you this: without UCLA, this deal doesn't go through.
Nope.
As much as I don't like UCLA, I'll be honest with you. Without UCLA, this deal doesn't go through because you have to corner and close the LA market. You cannot leave it open for anyone else to kind of step in and cause a little conjunction for you. You have to seal the deal. So UCLA has to be involved with this. So you have to give UCLA something. So do we give them $100 million and we take the other $4? and say, hey, here you go, thank you. We greatly appreciate you. You know
You
what
got
I
to do
mean?
1.5 and then take the other 3.5.
But you got to also understand that their basketball team is fire. So then you got to give them that other 150 mil, you know what I mean, for that basketball program.
Is their basketball program really gonna be fire? Because look at who they're up against. Now you're talking about Michigan State, you're talking about Indiana.
They're gonna have to rise to the occasion.
They're gonna have to do it a lot. And it remains to be seen. I haven't seen their basketball program hasn't been that good lately.
Yeah. So for me, it's like USC's basketball team is gonna struggle.
Oh, absolutely. They're gonna be the laughing stock, the whipping boys.
I don't think it's gonna be that bad. But it ain't gonna be what it was trying to build itself to be in the Pac-12.
Right.
Yeah.
So this year, with this being their final year in the Pac-12, man, they gotta go all out. They gotta win something.
And so I got a better question. So does this mean USC's getting a hockey team?
They gotta have one, don't they?
Yeah, they gotta have a hockey team.
You gotta have a hockey team.
Interesting.
No, hey, Chuck the Jedi, that's my thing, bro. It may be that bad, bro. It just may be that bad.
Yeah.
Hey, Dundee, and that's my thing. They've been building, man. They've been getting better, right? But they've been getting better in the Pac-12.
Yeah, that's not.
They're getting ready to take their talent to the Big Ten.
The big show.
Hey, look, when we talk about basketball, man, like there's teams over there in the Big Ten that you speak of when you speak of basketball. Michigan State, Illinois, Iowa has a good basketball team. Purdue has a good basketball team. Michigan has a good basketball team.
Ohio State.
Man, you were talking about a different perennial house of basketball when you talk about Big Ten basketball.
Talking about the SEC of college basketball.
Man.
Maybe even better.
You're talking a whole nother bracket of basketball, my friend. When you speak on Big Ten basketball, man, there is a whole nother bracket over there, man. Them boys ball out there.
Hoop,
and
take hoop seriously.
Yes, that's why the Pac-12 don't tend to make it that far most of these years. When's the last time you seen UCLA really make a run at the chip? Like a for real run at the chip. It's been a while.
Or Arizona before it was over.
I can't remember the last time SC was in the Final Four. When was the last time we won the chip? Did we even win the chip with Harold Miner? Or did we win the INT?
The NIT?
Yeah. Was it the NIT?
I'm not sure.
Because that's what we're playing for a while.
I got to call it quits.
Huh?
I got to call it quits, my man.
Oh, no, most definitely, brother. I'm out of here in about 16 minutes, man. I'm out of here in about 16 minutes because, as I said, I have a very early tea time in the morning. So I do need to get me some rest. I need to clean my clubs off too. From the last time I played, I haven't had a chance to clean my clubs, so I do need to do that too. Huh?
I said, "Oh no."
Yo, yeah, man. You gotta clean the clubs, bro. Gotta keep the clubs clean, man. And I just got a new set.
Nice.
Yeah, I got some pings.
Okay.
Yeah, I got.
All right,
Yeah,
gentlemen, chat,
pro
everybody.
clubs.
Hell yeah. Have a good night, Phil.
Appreciate you, Phil. Hey, so SC, man, look, I know you do a lot of coverage of the Trojans. You know what I mean? Um, where so now with them, I mean, I know they got the pack. They're still in the Pac-12 this year. You know what I mean? And we're gonna do some games. You know what I mean? And have some fun during the season because I'm sure it's gonna be a fire season with it being their last season in the Pac-12. They got to dominate on their way out, right? I mean, it's only right that you win the Pac-12 championship on your way out. You know what I mean? Take that trophy with you. But moving into like 2024, you know what I mean, which is really 2023 next year.
Mm-hmm.
How do you see your experience of calling the game now that it's not like Pac-12 teams? So now you have, Iowa teams where now you may have to get up a little bit more earlier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Than normal to watch a game. Say we got the 1:00 game over there on the East Coast. That's technically what 10 a.m. for us, right? So now you got to get up at 10 a.m. to cover a game, for a conference that's new to you. Like, how do you see yourself transitioning into a new conference?
It's it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I already do it with the Raiders. I mean, when we have games at like 1:00 East Coast time and it's like 10 a.m. over here, then we have to wake up, early. The beneficial of USC games is that it was always at like in the afternoon, right? 1:00, 2:00, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes majority of them were at 7:00 p.m. Which was pretty good time for me. But now that they're switching over to another conference, it's gonna be interesting to see how they compete and if they're gonna compete on a high level, on the level over there, because the level over there is way better than the Pac-12 right now. I think at the Pac-12 you got your Oregon, you got your USC, UCLA, and then there's a little bit of a drop off. You could put Stanford in there, you could put in, oh, I forgot Notre Dame and stuff like that, but it's still a big drop off. Over there's no drop off pretty much. I mean, there may be a drop off, but now that we've only played Pac-12 teams, there's not necessarily a drop off. I think every single team over there is way better than every single team in the Pac-12. We seen it last year when Ohio State won the bowl game, the Rose Bowl. They're without two of their main receivers and their quarterback. Well, they did have the quarterback. They didn't have two of their receivers and a lot of people in the draft that didn't compete. So the fact that they did it like that just shows you how much of a high level it is. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how I adapt to that. I mean, I have been looking at USC for a school in mind.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave that at there, but it's gonna be interesting to see.
Well, we're gonna pray on that, brother. We're gonna pray on that. You know what I mean? Make sure you get in so I can get the student discount. You know what I mean? When you buy tickets, so I can get the student discount. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that.
Hey, that money ain't no joke over there, man, to get in.
I know, but that's why I need the student discount. So when you buy one, you buy two. When you buy one, you buy two. And since you're buying two, you know what I mean, you probably gonna buy three because your brother gonna want to go too. So yeah, man, you know what I mean, get 3 tickets on the student discount, man. Greatly appreciate that, brother.
But, it's gonna be interesting, man.
Yeah, but Dundee. So you bring up a really great point. SC is gonna with money being thrown around now, and this is every sport. It ain't just football. You know what I mean? It's basketball too. If you're an athlete, you're getting paid now. Does this help SC in recruiting? Now that there's money on the table and it's legal, moving to the Big Ten, can this actually help their basketball program? You know what I mean? I think Dundee is saying some real shit right here. You know what I mean? Get a new head coach and start to build the program up. You know what I mean? Money should not be an issue. And that's my question. Does this help USC in their recruiting by moving to the Big Ten?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. It will. I think what a lot of athletes, I think, even for me, if I was, an athlete in college and I was looking at USC compared to another division, I would prefer another division because it's more high-end competition and I'll get more of a limelight. Because a lot of these scouts, what they look at is, you have to take the competition into consideration. And that's why I always hear the same thing when it comes to the Pac-12. Oh, they're not playing anybody too well, so you have to take that into consideration. This guy's not that great, blah, blah, blah. They did it with Drake London. I know that's football and that's basketball, but, it kind of does the same mixture. They did that with Drake London where they seen him and they're like, oh, he played against Pac-12 people. He wasn't that good and stuff like that. It doesn't, that's always, as much as I don't want it to be a factor, it's a factor. Now going into places like the Big Ten and stuff like that, or the Big 12, it's going to help a lot of these people be like, now that they're here and they're going to play high competition, I want to be part of that team or what they're building. I think it depends on what coach you bring in, because you've seen with Lincoln Riley on football. He's been already recruiting pretty damn well, and he's over here still in the Pac-12. I mean, getting 5-star after 5-star recruits, getting a top-notch, even though they did pay him a little, they got a top-notch receiver. They brought in a quarterback. He did everything he can as a first-year head coach and this is him in the Pac-12. Now, if he goes to another division, people are going to be like, look at what they're building. And now they're in a better division. I want to play over there and make this a powerhouse over there, be part of something special. So I think that's what they need to do with basketball. I think they need to get a better coach if they want to compete, in my opinion. Because right now, SC basketball, even though they've had a winning season, a 70% win percentage each year for the last 3 years, and they've made it to March Madness. And, in 2020, they had a pretty deep run. That's not going to cut it. You're playing against, the Michigan States. You got to get a coach that is adaptable to that league. You already got Lincoln Riley, that even though he played in a different division, he still knows what it takes. He played against Baylor and them. They're not no slouches. Now you go into your basketball and other programs and you go get yourself some people that could help out your certain programs. And, I mean, that's just my take on it. I think it'll help recruiting,
Yeah. Most definitely. And that's why I was, there's pros and cons to leaving, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to be a lot of pros towards an athletic program. The cons is toward the fans.
Yeah.
But to our program, like, generate more revenue. You're going up a different breed of talent in the basketball program, so it should make you better in the long run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Football program should thrive. You should still be in the top 4, top 5 top 4 conversation over there. You know what I mean? Ohio State, Michigan, SC, and I'd probably say Penn State, top 4.
Yeah.
Followed by like Purdue. I don't know from there, Iowa, Northwestern maybe. But yeah, it gets tough, So UCLA, you put UCLA up there somewhere.
Yeah.
Which, man,
it's gonna be difficult.
It's gonna be different. It's definitely gonna be different. You know what I mean? It's definitely gonna be different over there.
Yeah.
They will have to get it. So basketball coaches are gonna be looking for a new job because they're gonna be looking for a new b-ball coach. So this may be his last year. Maybe somebody new next year. Going into a new conference, or they may give him 1 year and see what he does. He knows he's going into the Big Ten, So let's see how he adjusts. You know, they may give him a shot at adjusting, and if he doesn't adjust, then they may be looking for a new coach.
Yeah.
So, but I appreciate you being here tonight, brother. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Thank you
Appreciate
for
the invite.
before you leave, man, let the people know where they can find you.
Well, yeah, y'all could find me at you see it right there on my logo right there, the SC Experience, man. I've been taking a little break here and there just because it's a little bit low and school, but I will be back soon for another live. Hopefully some news breaks out or something, so I can have even more to talk about. But yeah, you can find me the SC Experience. Same thing on IG, s.c_experience, and yeah, right there I'd be dropping edits and stuff. So if you guys like editing, go look me up on Instagram, man. I appreciate the invite, Dirty. It means a lot, brother.
Most definitely, man. You know what I mean? I knew this was something that you would definitely want to, speak on and talk about, man. So I greatly appreciate, I mean, you being here.
Yeah.
Speaking on IG, man, I don't know how many of y'all saw Denzel Perryman's live IG cooking.
Oh, a little bit. I watched a little. You
Yeah,
didn't know what to do.
hey, it was hilarious, bro. It was hilarious, bro. But afterwards, bro. So I hit him on IG afterwards, man. You know what I mean? I just told him, hey man, the cooking show was some great, was great. You know what I mean? Thanks for the interaction with the fans. You know, much love and respect. Bro, he actually hit me back. Denzel Perryman actually took the time to hit me back, bro.
Hey, Perryman's a real one, bro.
Yeah, he a real one, bro. So I just wanted to say, bro, Denzel Perryman is a real one, bro. You know what I mean? I figured that from day one. You know, just sitting here watching him. You know what I mean? Ever since he stepped into the building, bro, he's been about business. You know what I mean? And been about winning and giving his all, bro. So yeah, but I just found it crazy that bro actually took the time to hit me back, bro. And
Hey, I'm telling you, man. He also freaking commented on my edit I made about him, bro. The guy's around, man. He's interacting with everybody, man. I love it. I love seeing stuff like that.
That dude's he's a real cool dude, bro. And that cooking show was hilarious, man. That cooking show was hilarious.
I watched part of it. I was laughing. I was like,
bro, at the end, he was like, man, this is Lunchable pizza sauce, bro. He was like, this tastes like that Lunchable sauce that I was like, oh man, that is terrible, bro. That is terrible. That is what you putting on your pasta. That is. He's like, it is not pesto. I was like, no, it is definitely not pesto if it is red, bro. That is not.
You gotta get him on. You gotta help him out, man. You gotta help him out,
man. Yeah, I told him. I said, man, if you ever need a recipe, man, just hit me, bro. I will send you a recipe, bro, all day long, man. I will send you a recipe all day long, man.
Hell yeah.
But that shit was terrible. My boy tried though, man. Our boy tried, man. He tried, man. I can't even fault him for trying, brother. He tried, but
yeah, he could have easily been off of IG Live and not done it in the public view, but he did it. He did it.
Oh no, look, I loved it, bro.
Yeah.
I loved it, man. You know what I mean? Because you get to see that he a real person just like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He not way up here to where, you know what I mean, he ain't gonna interact. Because bro, he was actually interacting and reading some of the comments. You know what I mean? And interacting with it. So it was like, people were like, man, you still cooking? He's like, yeah, man, 2 hours later, bro, I'm still cooking, man. So like still live, he did an IG 2-hour live, so really cool cat, man. I like that, bro. That's the type of shit I want to see. It ain't got to be from everybody, but a few people that could just, be real cool and interact with the fans, man. That should go a long way, man.
Yeah, facts.
But like I said, thank you for being here, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. As I always say, 50 billion things on YouTube. The fact that you allow me and my panel tonight to grace your screen for any amount of time is more than greatly appreciated. I want to say thank you to my special guest this evening, SC Experience and Phil Robinson from the Unfiltered Truth. Both have YouTube channels. If you're not subscribing, you're sleeping. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always a beautiful and wonderful thing to spend any amount of time with you guys. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And as I always say to you guys, man, no matter how much it rains, you can never stop the sun from shining. YouTube, Raider Nation, go get your motherfucking sunshine. We out. Peace.